Unlike the first two movies, the Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban doesn't just introduce magic, it introduces secrets. But even after watching this movie multiple times, many fans are left with questions. Why didn't the Marauders map reveal Peter Pettigrew? One of the biggest mysteries in Prisoner of Azkaban is this. If the Marauders map can reveal every person inside Hogwarts, why didn't Fred and George Weasley ever notice that their younger brother Ron was sleeping every night with someone named Peter Pettigrew? After all, Fred and George had the map for years. They used it to explore secret passages, avoid teachers, and probably spy on everyone in Hogwarts. So why did they never discover that Ron's pet rat Scabbers was actually Peter Pettigrew? The most likely explanation is that they simply weren't looking. The map shows thousands of names moving around Hogwarts. Unless someone specifically focused on Ron's dormitory or recognized the name Peter Pettigrew, it would just appear as another name among many. Remember, Peter Pettigrew was believed to be dead for over a decade. To Fred and George, seeing that name would have meant nothing. But Remus Lupin was different. When Lupin saw Peter's name on the map, he immediately understood what he was seeing. Why? Because Lupin knew exactly who Peter Pettigrew was. Peter wasn't just a random student. He was his old friend. He was one of the creators of the Marauders map. So while Fred and George saw a magical map, Lupin saw a ghost from his past walking through Hogwarts. How did Sirius Black escape Azkaban? For years, Sirius Black was known as the only person who had ever escaped Azkaban prison. But how was it possible? Azkaban was guarded by Dementors, creatures that drain happiness and leave people hopeless. Most prisoners eventually lose their minds. But Sirius had one advantage. He knew he was innocent. This was incredibly important. The Dementors feed on despair. But Sirius had something most prisoners didn't have, a reason to fight. He knew that Peter Pettigrew was alive. He knew he had been betrayed. And he knew he had to escape to find him. When Sirius transformed into his animagus form, a large black dog, the Dementors could not detect human emotions from him as easily. His animal form made him weaker, thinner, and harder to notice. Because Dementors sense human suffering and despair, Sirius was able to survive by becoming less human in their eyes. Eventually, he escaped by slipping through the prison bars while in dog form. It was not just magic that saved Sirius. It was his determination. Why was Snape so angry at Sirius Black? In the movie, Snape's hatred toward Sirius seems almost personal, and that's because it was. But the film never explains the full story. During their school years at Hogwarts, Sirius Black and James Potter were famous troublemakers. They were intelligent, talented, and popular. But they also bullied students, especially Severus Snape. One of the worst incidents involved the Shrieking Shack. Sirius once told Snape how to enter the tunnel beneath the Whomping Willow, but he knew that Remus Lupin was inside during a full moon. Since Lupin was a werewolf, entering the tunnel could have gotten Snape killed. James Potter eventually stopped Snape from reaching the shack, but Snape never forgot what happened. From Snape's perspective, Sirius wasn't just an annoying former classmate. He was someone who almost caused his death. That is why seeing Sirius free after years in Azkaban brought back all of Snape's anger and hatred. What exactly is the Grim? Throughout the movie, Harry is terrified by a mysterious creature called the Grim. Professor Trelawney predicts it as a symbol of death. But what exactly is it? The Grim comes from wizarding superstition. It is believed to be a giant black dog that appears before someone's death. But the movie plays with this idea. The creature Harry sees is actually Sirius Black in his animagus form. Sirius appears frightening because the wizarding world already believes he is dangerous. The irony is that the creature everyone fears is actually someone trying to protect Harry. Why could Crookshanks recognize Peter Pettigrew? Hermione's cat Crookshanks seems strangely obsessed with attacking Scabbers. But why? Because Crookshanks knew something everyone else missed. Scabbers was not a normal rat. He was Peter Pettigrew. Crookshanks was an unusually intelligent magical creature. He recognized that something was wrong with Scabbers. He also understood that Sirius was not the enemy. This is why Crookshanks helped Sirius find Peter. In many ways, Crookshanks solved the mystery before the humans did. Why didn't Harry use the time turner to save his parents? After seeing Hermione and Harry travel back in time, many fans ask, why didn't Harry simply go back and save his parents from Voldemort? The answer is that time turners do not work like a normal time machine. They cannot rewrite history. Harry and Hermione did not change the past. They completed it. Everything they did had already happened. The Patronus Harry saw was always his own. The stone thrown at Hagrid's hut was always thrown by Hermione. The events were always connected. Changing Harry's parents' deaths would create a completely different story, but the magic of the series follows a fixed timeline. The past cannot be changed. It can only be understood. Which mystery from Prisoner of Azkaban do you think deserves more explanation? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this journey into the hidden secrets of Hogwarts, don't forget to subscribe for more movie mysteries and magical breakdowns.